Hi everyone, welcome back to a new post today, and let's talk about the most important news that was discussed widely, and that's after the budget. So before that, let me just tell you that I'll be coming up with a series of posts regarding the budget and the economic survey, so stay tuned for that. But giving you the details, let's just get into what's actually made news today, and that's about the Memorandum of Procedure or MOP. Now, we all know that from since days there was a lot of news about the collegium and the appointment process of the judges to the Supreme Court and the High Court. So recently, actually today, it was the Law Minister Kiren Rijiju has written to the Chief Justice of India asking them to finalize about the Memorandum of Procedure. So what's actually this Memorandum of Procedure? Now, the government has written to the Chief Justice of India and emphasized that there is a need to finalize the Memorandum of Procedure. So today, let's discuss about that. So the Memorandum of Procedure has actually been at the heart of this tussle between the government and the Supreme Court regarding the judges' appointment. So Article 127 and 217 of the Constitution deal with the appointment of the Supreme Court judges, which is done by the President of India, and Article 217 deals with High Court judges. So over the past few months, there has been a tussle between the judiciary and the government, that's the executive, over the appointment of judges, and that has been intensified. So much so, we had seen some comments coming from our Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar as well. Now, in a letter to the Chief Justice of India, Kiren Rijiju has suggested that the government nominees must be involved in the decision-making process of shortlisting the names for judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. As of recent, there's been a lot of criticism in the Supreme Court collegium that it's secrecy around the secrecy and non-transparency in how do they actually decide on the names of the judges. So it's the collegium system that decides on the names of the judges for appointment to the Supreme Court and High Court, and also on the transfer of judges, which is actually afterwards finalized by the President of India. At present, the appointed by the President of India. At present, the process involves the collegium system that has been come into being after the three judges' cases, and the names are decided for the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court by the collegium system. Now, the collegium system consists of the Chief Justice of India and foremost senior-most judges of the Supreme Court. It's not a constitutional system. So it's a Supreme Court process that has been decided. So Rijiju suggested the inclusion of the government representatives in a selective evaluative committee that will provide inputs on suitable candidates for appointment to the collegium. So what's actually the Memorandum of Procedure and why does it need a relook? Is it really finalized or is it pending? So that's what we are going to discuss. Now, the MOP is a list of rules and procedures for the appointment of judges to the Supreme Court and the High Courts, and it is a document framed by the government and the judiciary together. The procedure was actually evolved through the three judges' judgments that are popularly known as the three judges' cases, and these are the SP Gupta versus Union of India in 1981, Supreme Court Advocates on Records versus Union of India in 1993, and a special reference number 1998. Now, after these judgments, the Union government framed a Memorandum of Procedure in 1999 for the appointment of the judges and the Chief Justice of High Courts as well as the Supreme Court. Now, the current Memorandum of Procedure uploaded on the Department of Justice website just gives us the detailed procedure for appointment of the Supreme Court and the High Court. It says that all the appointments of the judges of the Supreme Court must be recommended by the collegium, as I've told you, and the collegium consists of the Chief Justice of India and four senior-most judges of the Supreme Court. It also says that the CJI would take into consideration the views of the senior-most Supreme Court judge who comes from the same High Court as the recommended person. This recommendation is then sent to the central government. The Law Minister will forward it to the Prime Minister, and who will advise the President on finalization of the appointment. So what is the read for relook? So this is what actually the website of the Department of Justice speaks about the Memorandum of Procedure. Now, the process for relook at the Memorandum of Procedure began after a 5-judge bench of Supreme Court struck down the National Judicial Appointments Commission, which was actually being taken as a replacement to the collegium system. Now, this body, called as the National Judicial Appointments Commission, would consist of both the judiciary and a nominee of the executive. So they would contain not only the judges but also someone from the executive as well in deciding the names for judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Now, this very system was struck down by the Supreme Court in a 4:1 majority in 2015, and they reverted back again to the collegium system. The NJAC was introduced to actually do away the collegium system and instead put together a 6-member committee for appointment of the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. Apart from the CJI and 2 senior-most judges of Supreme Court, the committee would also have government representatives, the Law Minister, and 2 independent members. So let me tell you, the collegium system now just consists of the judges of the Supreme Court, that's the Chief Justice of India, and the 4 most senior-most judges. There is no member from the executive as a part of the collegium. So while striking down the NJAC that was going to replace the collegium system, the court had acknowledged that the MOP needs fine-tuning, that is the Memorandum of Procedure. In December 2015, it said that the government may finalize the MOP by supplementing it in the consultation with the Chief Justice of India. It has asserted that the Chief Justice of India would take a decision on this revised MOP based on the unanimous view of the collegium, which is comprising the Chief Justice of India and the 4 most senior-most judges. Now, while the central government's official stand is that finalization of the MOP is pending, the Supreme Court says that it has made it clear that it is final, and the present system of appointment is actually according to the Memorandum of Procedure. A report presented by the Departmental Related Standing Committee on Personal Public Grievances and Law and Justice to the Parliament also stated and commented on this issue that the MOP is not finalized. It said the committee is surprised to note that the Supreme Court and the government have actually failed to reach a consensus on the revision of the Memorandum of Procedure for appointment of judges to the constitutional courts, though the same is actually under consideration even about 7 years from now. So Rijiju, that is the Law Minister's recent letter to the Supreme Court, is actually to finalize the Memorandum of Procedure. It's nothing but the procedure that is used to be followed for appointment of the Supreme Court and the High Court judges, and also for the transfer as well. So there has been a lot of criticism regarding the collegium system because of its secrecy, non-transparency, and now the MOP, where also the government is demanding that they should be a part of the system to appoint the judges to the Supreme Court and the High Courts, they being the highest courts in the country. I hope this information was really helpful to you all, and if you did like it, then please share, like and comment, and let me know your views as well. So thanks to all those who are really supporting me first of all, and I look forward to doing some better work in the future posts. And until then, I will see you in my next post. So until then, it's happy learning. Bye-bye.